them to do though. I like this matchup stylistically. You know, styles make fights. I like this matchup on Overpass between these two teams. I think this one will be really, really cool. And we are about to get into it. It looks like a knife round.
Maybe you can get a Black Friday deal on laser eye surgery, James.
Look, the knife round has started right, and Jame instantly knifed his teammate by accident, like instantly. No, he got knifed, sorry, but I think by qikert. Instantly.
Yeah, handicap. It's a negligible amount of health loss, so it's fine.
So the key to winning knife rounds, right, is not left, left, right. That's the fastest way for one person to knife one other person. But the best way to win a knife round is two people. It's like a right-click trade, basically. You right-click, then your teammate right-clicks the other guy immediately afterwards. That's how you win the knife rounds, okay? Trust me, I'm an expert. NiP will be starting on the CT side then. Forest has got himself some two flashbangs and a defuse kit. Lecro and Rez have not purchased just yet.
I like how Launders and Garo were putting the focus on bathrooms players for each respective team. Launders was mentioning Jame playing the bathrooms and just the game sense that he has there. And Garo was mentioning Rez and the focus that Rez has on this map. It's his favorite map. And honestly, for me, if I was to say what's the most iconic Rez map, I'd also say this map. And I guess that makes a lot of sense. He's pretty expert around the bathrooms too. So lots of focus around that. But for now, it looks like AVANGAR will be focusing on the B-bomb site. So we won't be seeing the bathrooms just yet, but we'll be seeing some carnage here on B.
Molly towards the... Oh, that's a great headshot from Rez. Never mind the Molly. He will fall back. There's some counter flashes from his teammates. It will catch all concern and some more flashes from the T's. But the headshot is going the way of Ninjas in Pajamas. The bomb gets dropped. It will slide down towards that monster position. qikert wonders what could have been. Headshot, and he'll finish off Lecro and Forest as well. Okay, well, this is still to be played for then. Does he pick up the USB? He does. Increased range for those one-taps. Now Ninjas in Pajamas, they have the bomb, which is such a strong position for them. They have a triangle of doom. You can see Plopski is actually outside monster with an off angle. Well, he starts to peek a little jiggling. He seems to have an idea of where he could be. He's got a 1 versus 1, but he can't quite hit the mark there. 2 for Plopski. Starts off well on the second map. He was great on the first, and that might be dangerous for AVANGAR.
Yeah, absolutely. Really lovely stuff for NiP on the defense here. And nice initial kill from Rez. And one thing you could notice from Rez as well is he had he's got fantastic mechanics. You can see that after he gets that kill, he flicks 180 degrees. To basically play anti-flash effectively, and then flicks 180 degrees back and still has full control of his mouse whilst he's doing all of that. So it's something to think about. Double HE there. If the T's were waiting behind the Molotov, they would be annihilated, but they're putting the focus towards Connector. It's going to pay off, it seems. SANJI gets a headshot onto Forest. Forest will be able to trade AdreN at least. But that's some initial economic damage. And honestly, I don't think there's really too much. I think the most realistic objective is a couple kills for AVANGAR. I don't think they're ever getting a bomb plant in this round with no utility and no Kevlar.
Buster moving up long. He'll be hoping for a peek, perhaps, with the Desert Eagle. They all have the Desert Eagles. NiP trying to play in range for the most part. Now, with no Kevlar, these players will be a one-shot with the Scout above the waist, of course. Twist has to be careful, though. He doesn't want to overexpose himself to maybe 2 players. Wants to avoid getting traded. 45 seconds. As AVANGAR continue to just poke and prod and shimmy their way towards the site. If they can keep the numbers alive, they can overwhelm. You can see Lecro will take a forward position with a FAMAS. There's Twist, gets his bell rung, and there's a 1 dig from qikert. Numbers game is going to go the way of Ninjas in Pajamas. The angle's on the bomb site. 2 players will be lost. There'll be some pistols collected, but it's nothing too untoward. AVANGAR now around the $4,000 mark will go for the buy. They'll be very light on grenades, but perhaps better equipped overall.
It's a really nice first shot from Twist and second shot. It's a scary start in terms of NiP. They looked so dominant on the previous map, or they had moments of great dominance, and here they they start off that way too. So Forrest, you can see him throwing the smoke that will land outside of the monster tunnel, and we will see a repeated use of that incendiary from the CTs towards the T ramp, which if it's not smoked, it allows forward position, like Rez is getting right there towards Party, which is why you kind of have to smoke it on the T side, because you can't allow the TTs to be able to just push for free. That's a great pick off from Buster. And look how expectant. Buster just knows what's up, man. He knows exactly what's happening here. He knows exactly what's happening.
So what can he do about it? Does Rez continue to push? He's got plenty of time, so we can do it well timed, but as you can see, the flank is coming. But I think Rez may be considering this as he has put himself in the best position possible to avoid that. So he's cleared most places, and Bus will try and do the rest. Now, Rez must... Oh, God. That might actually help him in the end. Maybe not, though. SANJI is patiently waiting, and now we've got big advantages for AVANGAR. 1 minute on the clock. 3 CTs remain, all around the A bomb site. Pretty passive towards B at the moment are AVANGAR. qikert will be by the club, and Jame will head towards B with him. We've got AdreN to deal with Connector. AVANGAR making all the right plays at the moment.
Yeah, and NiP are in a position where, you know, if Plopski gets a couple kills, you know, sure they can go for it, but otherwise they can really prioritize saving the utility, the Kevlar, the kits that they have, the weapons that they have, and, you know, they'll be able to get a full buy in the following round. In fact, though, it does look like Lekko's dropped in, so they may want to play a bit more committed. They have got forward position, so there is a chance here if they're able to get in the opening kill, and there it might be a quick one, not quite, almost with the MP9, okay, not enough has been done here. The HE will finish off one, but ultimately Forrest is left in an unwinnable position.
How often are you peeking in CS and you just see 2 guys crab walking in a bomb site? Not very often. Very interesting stuff. Forrest will find himself an upgrade at the very least, but that is a good round for AVANGAR, again, with the MP9 and such coming out for Ninjas in Pyjamas, and AVANGAR focusing on the AKs. They had the better firepower in that situation. They've broken the money now of the Swedish side. So after a short start for Ninjas in Pyjamas, they may find themselves with some difficulty. 3 survive for AVANGAR. I'm sure they have more grenades in the round to come. 1-2. Forrest not on the scoreboard just yet. Maybe he'll have a chance in this round. Same for AdreN. Got a Mac 10 picked up by SANJI. This is the SANJI we love to see. SANJI with a Mac 10. This is iconic. This is what he's known for. There should be graffiti of SANJI with Mac 10 in his home country. This is what I love to see.
Yeah, he's going to find a lot of good uses for it. That is for sure. And a couple initial grenades being tossed out there to allow the take of the water position. I think that's missed. They're supposed to go to short. But that's okay. It's fine where it is. AVANGAR just waiting for some kind of a push from NiP towards the party position, and given that there's been a smoke and so on towards sewers, that might be a tell for NiP to think, oh, okay, maybe we can actually push this side of the map, but it looks like Rez will just hold the boulder. See what he can do. Nice first shot. Rez is dangerous with that Deagle, looking for more. Only the one, though, but that might be enough. Certainly will be good. He'll be happy with that. Disposal of the rifle is had, but NiP, they've killed quite a bit of time here. Now they sit passively on the sides, waiting for AVANGAR's next move.
Rifle disposal service. Gun amnesties. Another creep. We're seeing a lot more of this, just trying to just drive plays into through the monster tunnel. qikert forced to speed up as SANJI is taken up by the short position. Bomb is behind him with Buster. Jame creeping as well. Forrest was low, and now he's gone. 3 versus 3. Rotated into the B bomb site from Twist. And it seems like he will get there fast enough. Again, Plopski still firing off, continuing from that previous round. There's a smoke up by the pillar with 20 seconds left. How on earth do AVANGAR take the site here?
Brute force is the only way now. Risks have to be taken, and Buster will lose his life. qikert, does he decide to just save what he has, or does he try to do more damage here? 1 kill is all that he's going to be able to muster. Another round for NiP, and they're back to winning ways.
That's surprising to me. I thought AVANGAR would have been in a driving seat at least for a short time, but that apparently is not the case. Ninjas in Pyjamas may be able to have a very strong start now to their CT side. They've put the money in a tough position for AVANGAR, who are going to go in a force buy. And now I'm kind of going back towards Train and all those buys they had that just weren't ideal. Didn't have enough utility in some. I mean, they won a round with practically none earlier on. 2 pistols and 3 rifles for AVANGAR. We'll see what they can do. Twist is on the scout. AdreN will get tagged. That's not a great start for one of the players holding a Krieg. The fadeaway HE grenade will do nothing. AVANGAR will have to be careful. They're so far back, even from this position. There's so many angles for the scout to reaggress that surely plenty more players will be tagged.
Yeah, this is a great position for Rez, looking for the first one, looking for the exit of Connector, but they're much closer than that, and the Incendiary will keep them at arm's length for now, and maybe it'll give Twist an opportunity to get another tag with the scout. The cross is pretty damn risky. Buster doesn't capitalize, however, but the smoke has left a gap, and that is all the information that Buster needs to know if there's a CT pushing close, and that's really the main thing. So AVANGAR may decide to commit towards A here. They don't have too much control towards B at this point. A minute left, they have to start to make some decisions.
Plenty of spam from Twist. Bomb is dropped for the time being. People picking the site but don't really want to reveal their hand. I think SANJI is at short B or just poking through connector at the moment, so there is some kind of presence there. NiP not going too aggressive just yet. Very basic grenade from qikert, and it won't really do the job. And now Rez could just hold them up and slow them down. 3 players moving towards A from the toilets. Twist moves back into that bank position. Much safer. AdreN going for the gun. Rez has an angle and will finish off the job there. Buster picks off as well. Leaving 2 rifles now. Jame and SANJI has got their first pick, and that's on the bomb site. Look how many NiP players are here. Surely it's too many. What is going on top of the site there? Is that enough distraction? 13 seconds, 37 HP for Jame, and he'll get taken out by Lekro. That was wild. Parkour in the middle of the bomb site while Jame's still alive. And it'll be 4-1 for NiP. And we can see there's plenty laughs about that. That looked ridiculous.
Yeah, and one thing for you guys to know is this position from Rez, really, really strong. You've got your right eye angle against, and you've got a lot of distance to it versus their swing, which is on a left eye swing. So super favorable. So it's you can play a really sick bait setup with the CT Opera on the site, or you can just play that alone and it's still very strong. So that's really worked out very well for Rez. And AVANGAR, they'll have a hero Krieg in this round, but once again, this Incendiary is doing a lot of work in terms of giving NiP position towards Fountain, position towards Party, and giving them all the information as well.
Timing. Plopski has a really nice angle. He'll take some more damage than maybe he would have, but he will still just about do the job. He's got the bomb at his feet now. 3 HP. Can't really hold the angle, but
Krieg, man, on Monster is so sick.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty sick everywhere, but on the CT hands, there's so many amazing angles on this map for the Krieg defensively.
Yeah, triple Krieg is a problem. Plopski need not peek. He's got to see what to do that Jame. Looking around, loses his position, and again, this is looking really dominant. AVANGAR looking weak versus NiP at present. Again, they had that fleeting chance earlier on to get a consecutive round. Failed to do that, and now with 3 Kriegs on the NiP side, I do wonder what AVANGAR can do. And again, we just keep seeing these force buys from AVANGAR. They're going to be have an SMG here, which again, it's kind of fine for them as a unique team. But like James got to seize their 75. Where's his AWP? Why full buy?
Well, we'll find out soon enough because they're looking like they're getting wiped out in this round. It's a lot of damage from the Krieg of Plopski, but he will go down in a 1-for-1 ultimately, and that will give time for the bomb to be planted if they can get some position, but maybe they can't because NiP have locked away some of the approach to the plant, and they're actually cutting down these AVANGAR players, and they're going to have to abandon their position towards the site completely. That's a massive problem. They've got plenty of time to reset the situation, but given that AdreN only has 9 HP and qikert's on 57 HP, and they have no utility between the two of themselves, it's going to be very problematic to get to a site. Forrest is alone on the A site. He does not have a Krieg. He's got the weakest weapon. Doesn't have any utility. So there's a world where maybe if AVANGAR get a good timing on Forrest, they can get a quick pop, get timing to get a bomb down, have a 2v2 off the plant. But it feels like there's just so many things that have to go right for them to achieve that.
There's a fair chance that I think from the AVANGAR POV, that one player is towards the A-bomb side. Of course, with that play towards speed, it's going to be a full rotation, and you can take a position towards bank, which allows you to cut the sights in half to stop a flank. But of course, the teams will expect that, so you can't hold the same position every round. Forest playing extremely passively at the moment, and we start to see Rez making a forward play. As the time continues to tick low, they may be a little curious towards the B-bomb site. Oh, the timing from Rez, just half a second too late there, so the bomb will get planted, but it is a 1 versus 3. They have no idea where qikert's coming from. Standing in the middle of the site now, hiding in plain sight. Here's one rotation towards the stairs. I think he's just been spotted by Lekro. That's the 1v1, so he can move around and try and get another one. Forrest is spotted, but he will take him out. And we move to 6 for Ninjas in Pajamas. And that bomb plant, imagine if that doesn't get planted, the money they are left with. That was so essential for them. Again, Rez is half a second away, and with all the awful buys we have seen from AVANGAR in this half, that would have been really, really brutal. qikert will pull out the AWP for Jame. So finally, we're going to see what feels like maybe the first proper buy for AVANGAR in this half.
Yeah, it feels very similar to the CT side. We saw out of NiP on train as well, where AVANGAR just denied any proper buys.
Yeah, look at the lack of utility as well. They've got like half of what they would normally have. So it's still not quite perfect, but I'll take it.
Nice deep molly there for AVANGAR to help themselves take over position towards sewers. You can see qikert's alone, and he manages to get this position just with a small nade set. So that's really valuable. At the same time, they had SANJI working connector, and then 3 now working towards the bathrooms from Fountain. So, oh, this is a great boost. This could really work out. James going to get an angle. That's beautiful. Finds a shot onto Rez off the back of the boost. And AVANGAR, they've got a really good situation now. But there's a triple boost coming in. Oh my goodness! Okay.
They've compromised it.
Yeah.
One fell off. The sound queue is more than enough to have to abandon ship in that respect. Do you see that jump there? That was so well caught by Connor to suggest a different kind of boost while they're rotating most of the players. So NiP are trying to sell that they've got more players in B than they necessarily do. I think with that kind of little jump there, deliberate sound cue given away. Sometimes like a T player might make a footstep outside the B-bomb site of Inferno to suggest it was an accident, something like that. That smoke from the CTs actually can also be used as a lurk smoke for the T's to get closer to the sites, which is interesting. But here we go, 5 versus 4 still for AVANGAR. qikerт trying to hop off quietly. So it looks like he managed to do that, especially while a train is going past. 30 seconds remain. Jame won't be shy to make some sounds. That's a big frag from qikert. Smoke is up. Forrest is here to help Plopski. Plopski continues to be a giant problem for AVANGAR, but Forrest is the one getting it big. We've got to push for this smoke, and Forrest is running distraction now, while Plopski may not be detected just yet. And there's 15 seconds to plant this bomb, but they both will fall, even if it's alone now. In a 1 versus 3, misses the flick, and AVANGAR will get to round 2.
Very nice, very nice. Starting to look a little bit more promising. And again, everything went well there for AVANGAR. They got to control the sewers with just qikerт, with that small nade set, smoke molly, and then they had, I believe it was SANJI, who went through connector by himself. He got connector control, and 3 players from bathrooms. The boost yields the first kill towards short, which pushes NiP very defensive, which gives AVANGAR the run of the entire map, and NiP are none the wiser as to which direction they're going in. So very standard stuff. Everything went right, but here it is. Rez with the forward play with the AWP is going to take down Buster straight away. So immediately mixing things up, using the spawn, swapping the AWP back to twist. And AVANGAR are in a situation where they're not going to be able to run the round in the same way as before. So we'll see if they're able to adapt to losing a player early like that.
Mostly quiet now on the site, on the map rather. AVANGAR looking for more shenanigans towards the toilets area. Let's not forget that boost shot through the foliage, but they need to identify the setup of the NiP players. It's now the Swedes who have the 1-man advantage. 1 minute on the clock. This is a very common Molotov to take an AWP angle away. Twist forced to use the smoke, and now he needs to get back towards the site. You can see he's being real careful about it with these flashbangs, and he's able to escape. So we've seen a few situations for the CTs around the entrance to the toilets there where they've tried to make their way back to the site safely. So that's something that's interesting to focus on. From a personal perspective, flashes towards the site again, trying to take angles away as AVANGAR continue to pursue the A-bomb site. They still have qikert though towards that short B position. The bomb doesn't look like it's overly committed just yet towards A. So there may be a rotation to be had here. And that's even more so with SANJI getting taken out, qikert trying to make inroads towards B. That won't work either. And I think it's a safe situation now for the remainder of AVANGAR. Looks like round number 7 for Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Yeah, that's a tough one. You lose both your players immediately. Just like the first player trying to go for the push into the A site, and it's kind of weird because you're putting a lot of weight on that player's shoulders because he's going to be swinging by himself into a bomb site where there's a lot of like very sheer angles, and he's got to guess right to get the kill. If he doesn't, you can see the plan was instantly for them to rotate back to B, where qikert then has to walk into the site. But then qikert also has to win a 1v1 where he's not favored. So you've got two 1v1s being taken by AVANGAR in that situation where neither of them is favored, and the outcome of the round is heavily weighted on the success of those pushes. So I can see how the plan works, but it's definitely a desperate situation. And speaking of which, these boosts, the 4-man boost, it's a difficult situation because, as you often point out, James, if it's spotted, then the CTs know they can basically push everything. Oh, yikes.
Dear. Well, never mind.
I haven't seen that happen before.
Yeah. You can see they don't do it too often. I don't think I've ever seen them do that.
Well,
I think like most of the time I'm seeing it, it's smoother.
It's not the worst case, because the worst case is they do that boost, then miss the shot, and then the CTs get to push forwards. But at least this way, the CTs don't know that they were doing that.
Smoke, that will land in the middle of the site to help a default plant. There we go, take some angles away from upstairs. We've got to focus on the short B position. There's no map control towards A at all for AVANGAR. There might be some kind of stack here towards the bomb site, but maybe they expect that. SANJI floating in the ammonia in that short B position, and Lekro is able to escape the situation. Plopski now by the barrel, sees the jiggle, but can he win the duel? He can't. AdreN has can open the B bomb site, but things get worse for AVANGAR as AdreN falls.
Yeah, it's a good effort, and it's now a contested B bomb site. It might be a chance here for AVANGAR. They've got to hit some nice shots, but the utility is making life just simply impossible. Forrest with a great double. The only response is qikert on short, but he's got nowhere to go. They know exactly where he is. He has the bomb. He doesn't have time though to really rotate out or anything else like that, and he will get eliminated as well. Once again, NiP just completely outclassing AVANGAR. And I mean, we have to remember as well that AVANGAR did fail the 4-man boost repeatedly, which wasted a lot of time, and then they felt like, well, we've given up so much of the map, we kind of just have to go towards B now.
Yeah, I'm not sure if AVANGAR doing a 4-man boost is a good sign. Yeah, it's looking really rough for them. Smoke out towards the T side of Monster, which makes it harder for the T's to burst. Because if it was on the CT side, they could get a flash over the top and just boom. Unless it gets sprayed, of course. We've got some spray towards short B, and AVANGAR are ill-equipped now. SANJI has a deagle and all the remaining grenades. So this might be a slow one for AVANGAR. Run boost. Because of a lack of utility. It's been so rough. Just like the buys. Like, how many full buys have they got with full utility? I really don't know if they've had a single one in this half, which is really weird, considering they've only got 2 rounds. You'd think the money would be there, but apparently not.
Yeah. Oh my god, that is extremely tilting if you're Jame. That is extremely tilting, James. He only gets the leg shot off of the trade attempt. And the round's over. Just like that, the round is basically over. It's a 5v2 in favor of NiP. They have shut down the play towards long, and as you pointed out, there's no utility at all for AVANGAR. And just going for the swing against Twist, it's just desperation here. AVANGAR know that there's very little for them to do in this position. They'll try to do what they can. They have got themselves the AWP of Jame in hand of SANJI. And will they go for a boost there? Yes. No. SANJI doesn't agree with your plan.
Looks like it's another timeout situation for AVANGAR. Hold on to the AWP. Man, this is rough. Not many frags on any of the players, really, apart from qikert.
Yeah. Beautiful stuff from NiP. They're looking very good right now. They are a fortress on the CT side of Overpass.
Counter-terrorists win.
Immovable.
AVANGAR getting shut down at the moment. Just like they did yesterday, really. I guess it hit the lamp.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It didn't look like a leg shot. So
Yeah,
you must be right.
Bit of penetration shot.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. I mean, despite all this success from Ninjas in Pajamas, there we go, that's what they're called.
Nice one.
They don't have all the money in the world. And again, we just got another crap buy from AVANGAR. AWP, they were just bought around what they had in the previous round, basically. But, yeah, man, these buys from Train to Overpass are looking horrible. It's almost like random select. Another run boost, but they've got plenty more grenades this time. How patient will they be? Rez is in the long toilets once again. Taking a deep angle, if he takes some more shadow away, he will have the shadow advantage and he can just reset that. And again, keep an eye on the shadows if they go for it. A basic flashbang, but Rez can easily fall back. There's a smoke up, so they don't have too much concern from the party position. And now they've got a two-man setup, rifle support for the AWP. Twist starting to creep, got a great angle. Does he pursue though?
It's such an amazing way to play it. The Twist takes a Rez's angle because they know Rez is there, so they'll expect to be swinging on a rifler, but the way that you swing on a rifler, if you do that against an AWP, you just die. So it's really beautiful to see such a setup between them. It's how difficult it must feel to play against Rez and Twist. And SANJI's just made his push around the corner. Twist was scoped in, he didn't expect that. And he'll get taken down. Rez now in all kinds of trouble, looking to control his burst here. He knows he has to frag multiple players at once. The second player, Jame, is going to take him down. Does some good damage though. qikert just destroys Forest on the truck position, and he's taking a forward spot as well. So it's looking good here for AVANGAR now.
I like the forward smoke from NiP to try and harass the bomb plant. qikert sees the barrel of the gun. Surely this is a fight from him. He sees the head as well, but how has he lost that? He could have sprayed him through the corner of the wall. 2 versus 2. Look at the like Jame is so low now. There is a smoke up for Plopski as well. He could smoke off one of the choke points and he's going to go for the bomb instead, but that's going to allow both these T's to peek from around the toilet position. Plopski will trade the frag, but where's the last man? It's SANJI. Plopski has a smoke grenade. He comes out the side of the smoke and takes SANJI out as well. Beautiful work from Ninjas in Pajamas. Great clutch for Plopski. Seems unstoppable at the moment. 13 for 5. Let's not forget his performance on the previous map as well.
Yeah, Plopski has been looking amazing today so far. Some incredible situations, the clutches from him, and just general damage output. And 10-2 is the scoreline now as NiP here finds success again. Here is the fast shooting Rez. And Jame here just barely able to trade him. And it took some phenomenal pacing and entries for AVANGAR to have a chance here, but it didn't work out. And maybe that's the merit, or rather, sorry, the moral of the story for AVANGAR, that they need to go a little bit faster to try to overwhelm these NiP defenders.
Yeah, it's worth noting that after we spoke about the two-man setups for the AWP, Rez went back to the site because they had concern for long. They were a little greedy leaving Twist alone in the toilets. They took risks they didn't need to, still came out on top. Lecro getting more aggressive now, trying to punish AVANGAR, but they'll have a 5 versus 4 AVANGAR again. They've got no flashes or anything apart from 1 molly and 1 smoke, but maybe the numbers game can prevail. Maybe. We raise that hope question again for AVANGAR. 2 for 10 when you're a map down, not what they were looking for at all. See that boost come through once more. Twist maybe has a scope, they're not really sure. But he starts to fall back now again. He doesn't have the support because Rez is towards long. He can go to support Rez and have a two-man set up there. But they'll have to play more defensive on the A bomb site. In fact, he's going to head towards B, and Rez will start to creep back slowly. Speaking of slowly, it's another slow round for AVANGAR. Smoke towards Divider may slow things yet further because they don't know what's behind that. And in fact, it is practically a stack of the B bomb site.
Yeah, that's really interesting that NiP decided to go for this. Is their money that ropey? I mean, it's not really amazing. I think this is a kind of an interesting play. B is normally the site in which you'd be happier to give up because you can retake B. So, if AVANGAR were to go into B and run into a defender, maybe he gets a couple kills, you're actually like, okay, we can go for the retake, screw it. But in this situation, retaking A is not impossible, so they've just completely given it up, and the round is likely won here by AVANGAR.
Oh, look at the panic from AdreN. 8 seconds. He's got. Oh no! Look at all the players.
What the hell is happening, Jim? What is just happening?
They just know how slow. I'll tell you what. They just know. I mean, the rotation's crazy in the first place, but they know how slow AVANGAR are. If you look on the radar, there were 2 NiP players rotating from B to A, and they could be heard based on AVANGAR being outside the toilets. But AVANGAR still don't know the status towards the A bomb site. This is the angle I was talking about. If you're on the stairs of the bank, you can see the T's cross to the other side, which gives you half of the retake advantage. If you can keep eyes on that when the bomb's getting planted, then the CTs that they can go towards the truck and so on, which is really, really important. So AVANGAR just they're like predictably slow is what that's telling us.
You're going to be winning those. They got the bomb site. They had 5 players.
AdreN was planting the bomb. He came off it because of a HG grenade flying at him. So they're playing like cats. They're just super nervous.
Wow, that's really not. That kind of tells you everything you need to know about AVANGAR's state of mind in this situation. That is just a terrible position to. That's the kind of spot as well that as a team you're all feeling like there's no way we should be losing these situations, and that's going to start to set in. And that's like the rot setting in right there.
If you're going to be that nervous when you're planting the bomb because you don't really have the proper cover on the site, then why don't you just go to the site earlier?
It's not like you have a shortage of players to cover you either.
This would be an awful way to leave the tournament. An awful way.
Yeah.
And it's a long way to come from Shanghai just to go out in such a fashion as this.
Well, we'll see what happens. I mean, for them, we know that they've been getting worked like to the bone, so at least they'll get a break, which they definitely need after this tournament. But that's not fun, is it, for Buster? R.I.P. Jame will try to get his orb working the magic, and the magic will be worked, taking down Plopski, making him disappear. But it's got to pull something out of the hat here because still it's going to be difficult to take the side. That's the money smoke that's going to just freeze the P players. And oh my god, Forrest is going through it, and that'll be enough to finish off the round. And it's 12-2. And that smoke between the pillar and the barrel, there's one for any of you B players to learn. It really is extremely strong. And this is just a free kill. Just hello, goodbye.
Yeah, this is it's disappointing for AVANGAR again. We're big fans of them, but there's not a lot happening for them right now, is there? Last round of the first half, we got that smoke towards Monster again, so you can crouch and point it at that part of the pole, but the next notch along, you do it standing, which I think lands faster than that one, actually. Jame on the CZ75 again. I feel like he's been defined more by the CZ than the AWP in this series. Red starts to back off as the smoke grenade comes in to take positions away. Often you would find a T side with better money and more utility throw a Molotov towards the Vider to take these AWP angles away. There is a pop flash, which goes for a flick, doesn't hit the target. It looks like a much faster run from AVANGAR. It's a shadow advantage again for Rez. We've got bunny hops as well. This is not Super Mario Brothers. And now we've got Jame remaining third versus 5. Rez has been a nice highlight reel as well in this half so far. Now the half has ended with 13 rounds for NiP. I don't know what the frustration there is for, but hey, here we go. It's a monstrous half for Ninjas in Pajamas, and it'll probably continue after the break. Do AVANGAR have anything left in the tank, or have they gassed like those old school UFC fighters after 5 punches? They will be on the CT side now, defending the cash points in the bank.
Well, Forrest is 14 for 6, Rez is 19 for 6, and Plopski is 14 for 6. So those guys have been fragging. They've been fragging their hearts out. And indeed, it looks like AVANGAR might be booted out of this game, this series, pretty quickly here, because they aren't looking like they're able to contend. Oh my god, I don't think I've ever seen the odds like that. 14. I don't think I've ever seen
on
that
LAN,
high.
I haven't seen those. That's extremely...
Even on the online season, I think we almost never broke 10.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, these are pretty wild, but indeed, AVANGAR just look completely gassed at the moment. Which is bad to see. We're big fans of this team. We don't want to see them playing like this, but at the same time, NiP have shut AVANGAR down, and they've just not allowed them to have any of their ideas work. And again, Get Right said that he thinks they should have won it in a stronger style on the previous map. They're certainly doing so here, and the countdown has begun. SANJI with 2 flashes and a defuse kit. James picked up the CZ75 again. In fairness, a CT-CZ can be really good if you're playing in a position where you think you're going to engage multiple players, so perhaps he goes towards connector with it. That would be very interesting. On the T side, NiP will have Forrest on the P250 with a flash and a smoke grenade. So indeed, the CZ will go into a high chance multi-frag situation, and he'll hide in the corner. Maybe you'll hear some footsteps towards the upper area around the fountain as NiP head towards long.
Whereas a couple pot shots there, just keeping the CTs entertained. AVANGAR do have that connector presence, but they do have to worry about Rez. In the meantime, the rest of the screens will move up towards the A sites. AdreN will deny Plopski. And Jame will go down there towards connector. So with that exchange of kills, NiP can feel confident enough to just go for it. Just try their luck on the bomb sites. Looking to frag out here. Electro pushing forward. There's one from Forrest.
Oh my god.
Doing what he can. The bomb's now down and lost in the bank position. SANJI with the double. Now it's up to Rez to finish it off for NiP, but he is weak.
SANJI with 10 bullets. Repositioning as he fell down. I'm not sure if Rez might have seen him. Creeping towards bank, a safe position, has the bomb next to him. Rez now, there we go, patient SANJI, 7 HP for Rez, he could still do this, but actually from the range, if Rez gets a headshot, I don't think it will do the job, so it's a really tough spot for him with the Glock. Keeps moving forward now, getting closer, he really needs that one shot from very close range. He is trying to close that range, smart stuff, but SANJI's got the tap to finish off the job. A 3K from SANJI again, he is a pistol beast, and he gives AVANGAR just a bit more air in a scuba tank, trying to avoid drowning.
Yeah, SANJI pretty much delivers every time on the pistol rounds. He's really, really solid. And this was a very nervous dance. No Kevlar as well, but he remains untouched. And 4 MP9s will be coming out for AVANGAR. They can get really aggressive with this, and this is kind of the perfect way to battle the Deagles. You can swing really wide with those, and the forward incendiary there a little bit later than typical. But the follow-up HE will destroy Twist down to 11 HP. And they NiP are just looking for a couple kills here. There's just nothing. There's no other objective other than that. Find a couple kills. Keep the economy in check.
Lecro with the Deeg man, I believe. Also quiet, Jame. Okay, qikert. I was like, did he actually just get that kill? But qikert's there as well. And they start to fall away. Let's not do anything crazy. And I think they're not going to win the round in toilets unless they let them. SANJI here with the M4. AdreN trying to creep into close distance with the MP9. This is a good money-making round for AVANGAR. They've got a lot of work to do, and let's not make any assumptions. They're on a CT side now. Things I would expect will be dramatically different. That said, Ninjas in Pyjamas feel just a lot stronger, really, in this series.
Yeah, you can definitely tell they're in a better prepared state, which is, you know, it makes sense. You know, they haven't been run as ragged as AVANGAR have. I think it's fair to notice SANJI. I think it was SANJI who did a No, I don't think it was SANJI, because it was one of the players that... SANJI was the guy that got replaced by Mo for
Who did a what?
the first couple of days. There was an interview, I think it was Buster, actually, who did the interview. It's worth the reading. It's a great interview from HLTV during CAC that just was last weekend, where he was talking about the general state of the team and, you know, everything that's been happening, and they've been going from event to event to event to event with no break for quite some time. But here we go. Full buy coming out, Jame on the AWP, that's what you want to see. NiP full AKs. Lacking some nades though, so they'll likely be wanting to go fairly quickly in this round.
Jame falls off just as Rez emerges. Surprise, it's SANJI. A pretty happy portrait he's got there. NiP promptly, much faster than we saw from AVANGAR moving through the map. For us going to have a look towards the B bomb site now in this 4 versus 5. SANJI will remain in a short B position, which will leave 3 players of AVANGAR towards A. Buster and qikert have some kind of setup around Jame, who can quickly go from long to toilets. That would be interesting to see how NiP engage that, but it seems they'll head towards the B-bomb site. SANJI still in a strong position. Twist, though, that's a nasty frag from him. Very unexpected. AdreN with the continuation spray, but not quite going to get there. 2K for Twist. I don't know how much AdreN saw. I don't know if he saw 2 plays there. Definitely didn't see the bomb, which is outside Monster. And NiP retreat from short B for the most part. Don't leave Lekr in situ, though. 4 versus 3. Now we see a rotation from AVANGAR. They start to focus on the B bomb site with qikert moving above connector.
Jame, though, in position with the AWP, will knock down one, and there doesn't seem to be a way to breach this bomb site so far for NiP. They're going to have to hit some incredible shots. Lekr will take down the flank in qikert. 15 seconds to go, though. Not much time on the clock here. It's just Lekr left. One more player to find. 10 seconds to find the last player. Jame hiding in the water. Lekr, can he find him in time? Oh, he's checked everything but his position, and Jame gets it from below. That is fantastic for AVANGAR. They need that round, but they lost everybody.
Apart from Jame. That was a really key round. I thought Jame didn't have the sound as Lekr was running to his left-hand side. Great effort from Twist to turn things around. Let's not forget, this was a 5 versus 4 for AVANGAR. Pretty quickly with that frag from SANJI. But it fell to pieces. That was a really important snap from Buster, and then the no-scope from Jame.
Oh, man.
Small margins, just to keep yourself in the game, to keep yourself on the comeback here. It's just 5 rounds for AVANGAR versus the 13 of NiP, so there's plenty of time. And we'll see a difference, I think, in focus. Although there's also a difference in perspective. Oh, that grenade is absolutely beautiful. In terms of Ninjas in Pyjamas' buys, since they already have the leads, there will be less of a focus, I think, on going for those kind of force buys we saw from AVANGAR, so it's not like a fair comparison, really. That grenade sailing through the connector window.
Yeah, you don't
so
expect
nice to watch.
To be on the receiving end of that. It's pretty hilarious. Ooh, Forrest making the deagle work. We saw the deagles working for NiP really nicely on the first map. Jame with a whiff there. That allows the T's to get closer and keep the integrity of numbers alive as they push the smoke as well. And oh god, Nate's in hand, and James got his AWP in hand now, dealing the damage. qikert just trying to fall back here as James has to work the pistol, and he's able to get a lot of damage, but these players are still alive here for NiP. They're trying to go for the trade here, but James is going to keep himself alive for now, and they cannot plant the bomb really just yet, as AdreN has one of them pinned down, and James can spring on the other, so it's not a good look here for NiP, but maybe they can find a way. Nice headshot coming in through from James.
Boom. Speaking about headshots, all around so far for AVANGAR, but let's not forget how close the margins have been in some of these rounds.
That round 2, that was really close.
Yeah. And look at this buy. It's a pretty solid buy. Pretty, well, early enough for Ninjas in Pyjamas. I wish we'd seen more of these from AVANGAR, but here we are. Straight in the face. Well, there is still a 7-round deficit for AVANGAR at the moment. The MP9 out for SANJI, nothing untoward there. Some fast grenades towards the A bomb side. There's a focus on connector as well. qikert spraying through the smoke as they split B short, basically. There's a flash for Buster to have looking to go deep, though he does. He'll win the first duel, but is he able to escape? He isn't. maybe a chain flash would be required. SANJI maybe wanting to pick up the rifle, but it's a little too far away and too risky. 4 versus 4 with a minute 20 on the clock. Twist still with some presence around the fountain towards toilets. The smoke is up and Jame is inside the toilets. But there's still a big focus from AVANGAR towards the B bomb site, where NiP seem to have a big focus.
Molly in the barrels. Rez looking to commence the push here. It's a strong swing from the monster tunnel and eliminate SANJI. qikert with the trade though. Rez, a trade of his own, making things much better here for NiP. This could be the round in which they break the back of AVANGAR. AdreN gets taken out as well and leaves Jame alone with the AWP. I don't think he's going to want to give this one a go. He is not in a good position right now. And indeed, he will just give it up. And NiP, they pick up their first round on the T side. It felt like it was only a matter of time though.
I think so. Just the way, from what we've seen in this game so far, even in the eco rounds from Ninjas and Pyjamas and the focus on the big buy rounds, they will only be 2 rounds away from sending AVANGAR back to the airport. Jame trying to hold on to the AWP. He's only got one threat really close, which is Rez, who'll probably just walk straight into the scope. There we go. Well, the money is awful now for AVANGAR, but if they can hold on to the AWP, then anything can happen. Doesn't look very likely, though. You can see how important it is. That's $600 thrown on the floor just to hold on to the AWP. Damn, NiP looking real sharp with these AKs. Look at his burst from Rez. It's been really fun to just watch him aiming at people and just bursting people in this series. 14 for 6.
Yep, it's looking so good for NiP. Doesn't seem like there's an argument from AVANGAR's camp in terms of, you know, being able to find a good recovery. And I don't think there'll really be any, well, there's no better time than now at this point. They'll at least have the AWP continuing on Jame as he was able to save that. And I see a couple M4s as well, the Eagle and a CZ, so it could be worse, it could definitely be worse, but it's definitely a rough situation for them to find themselves in, especially as NiP have been playing some of these rounds fairly slow, which does tend to quickly diminish that CT utility, and NiP have been playing those late rounds pretty well also. So yeah, I think AVANGAR are going to find themselves in a spot where they're going to be outgunned, and they will not have the requisite utility to hold onto the sites if NiP are to work the map slowly. We did get a tech pause coming in, as you guys can see. So just a moment's intermission before we get back into the action. And back into whether or not AVANGAR can answer the question as to whether or not there will be a comeback. This is I got to say, it's probably the most uninspired performance from AVANGAR I've seen. Yeah. At this level of late.
Oh dear, that's a rough one. Looking at the buy of AVANGAR in this round. Yep. Now, does this slow the pace for Ninjas in Pyjamas, or do they just storm into a site knowing that AVANGAR will be weak and they need to get AWP going? Well, Ninjas in Pyjamas will at the very least make AVANGAR nervous with all this utility deployed towards the B bomb site. Probably make them dump utility and maybe reveal a few things, maybe spray a rifle, find out where some weapons are being held. You can see the boost being lined up. It's going to be a 2-man spray down. James just stuck. 8 HP. Is he able to? He's still there. Still able to deliver the kill. But he will get taken out by Forest. So this is a disastrous start. All that utility thrown into the B bomb site did indeed just cause panic for AVANGAR. Going for a boost and short. Didn't expect NiP to use all that utility as bait and then punish him in such a fashion. Nice one dig from SANJI. The HE will be nice as well, but Rez comes in from the back. The numbers game better than the 1Digs, and AdreN is left alone now, spotted towards CT. A double peek, a trade, and it's match point for Ninjas in Pyjamas.
Yeah, looked like it was always going to go this way. Just one more round to go, and NiP will be moving forward in this tournament. And I got to say, I think the NiP getting good again kind of happened at a timely moment in terms of them qualifying to get to this finals. They've been having a good run of form as of late, and so yeah, it feels like they, you know, with the form that we're seeing, they could be real contenders for the title here. We've got some pretty damn strong teams, so you know, Astralis, EG, Team Liquids, to name a few. So the contention for the finals will be extremely strong. Either way, into this last, what could be the last round here for AVANGAR. They'll be on 4 Deagles and a Scout. It's a grim situation. but we've seen them do more with less. qikert looking to find the opening kill here, but he will be first blood from Plopski and the Krieg. A couple of smokes and a couple of flashes left on AVANGAR, but now they're down a man. They've got 2 players towards the bathrooms, and they have AdreN in a rotation position around Graffiti and potentially Heaven. And Jame left towards that A side by himself with the scout. And right now AVANGAR is a tense moment whilst they're waiting for NiP to make a decision as to where they want to go. I think we can see that given the setup on the radar, that is going to be a B play if the bomb is going to be sticking around Monster like this. And there's the smoke for the bridge to allow the plants, and the cross from short. So that's going to bait out any, if there's any remaining utility for AVANGAR, the smoke is served to bait out. Or it's actually a side smoke.
Yeah, you noob.
I'm a noob. Mine always goes to the bridge, I must be throwing it wrong.
Doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah.
25 seconds on the clock. NiP AVANGAR dead fight because the pre-fire is there. Monster sees a few more, but they're everywhere and they're overwhelming. Jame has a scout round the pillar, and now it's down to SANJI with the 1 Deeks, and Rez will just go and annihilate him. And it's just a stonking performance from Ninjas in Pyjamas. AVANGAR don't feel like they were ever in this one. A very strong victory for Ninjas in Pyjamas, looking in good shape.
Yeah, I don't think there was just no contention really, and a lot of it came down to, I think, the fact that AVANGAR are just exhausted from all the travels that they've been doing from back-to-back tournaments. And I think that's a rite of passage in many respects too, because they've actually earned that level now where they're getting invites everywhere, they're qualifying for everything, they're a super sick team. But that's one of the things that you have to